there. I'm wanting to get caught up on my project life for the month of July. And I have to admit, I wasn't very good at taking pictures in July. I did not take pictures every day. Sometimes I took multiple pictures, and I think I have 22 photos here for the whole month. I was gone for a few days, but still, I've captured what was going on during that month. And I printed these so that I have them 2 photos per 4x6. I either have them 3 inches wide and 4 inches long, or I have them 4 inches wide and 3 inches long. And I want to try the more traditional Project Life approach. I don't have the page protectors with little pockets, but I'm going to lay out my page sort of like I did, have those little pockets. I'm going to be using either a 3x4 or 4x6 kind of arrangement, and see how that works for me. I don't think it's something I would ever want to go to all the time, but I think it's a great way to get a lot of photos done very quickly. Now, I could, in theory, just take these 22 photos and put them on a 2-page spread and be done with it, but I'd have to put some journaling on top, and I wouldn't have a lot of embellishment. I'd really rather spread them out a little bit. So I'm going to do this over 3 pages. And I'll be cutting them up and arranging them here in a few moments. But let me show you some of the product that I'm going to be working with. I'm going to be using a cardstock base to put everything on. So I've got 3 different pieces of yellow cardstock there that matches my colors. I'm working with the Pebbles Lakeside collection. Doing this is a great opportunity to use 6x6 papers because you need small scale and you don't need a whole lot of anything. So these photos are very bright and summery, and really work well with what's going on here in July. I have a couple of things that I bought specific for Project Life from the 24/7 collection by Simple Stories. These, while the colors in the papers are maybe a little darker than and not quite as lively as that Lakeside collection is for summer pages, they're still similar colors, so I think I can still use some of these stickers on these pages, and I have pulled out even a few other papers from Little Yellow Bicycle that will go with this, and I have some letter stickers and different things, so I'm sure I'll be digging into my embellishment stash. Right now what I'm going to do is cut my photos up and match them up and decide what I want on what page. One of the advantages to doing this without the little page protectors is you can arrange things kind of however you want to. For example, I could do a page with these 3 4x6s on the bottom, and then I could take on the top and do a couple of my landscape-oriented pictures and then do a title across there and still have a page that came together very quickly without, but arranged however I want to. I wouldn't be confined by the types of pockets that came with a particular system. So anyway, I'm going to cut mine up and probably sort of organize things, not so much chronologically, but more by event, by what was really going on during the month.
Okay, I'm grouping all of my photos together, like all of these floral things related to flowers that were growing in July in our garden, all the cleaning and household kind of things together. We had some farmers market pictures there that go together, so just kind of getting these in groups. That's more important to me than chronological. And I've got to decide which ones are going to go on which of the 3 pages, using some yellow cardstock as a base, although a lot of it will be covered up. That does go with all my pictures. And at this point, it's not that critical how they're arranged. I just want to see what all will fit on a page. And I'll have a 2-page spread. So again, continuing with most of the outdoor pictures there. And then the 3rd page, the bottom there are all the things that kind of went on around the house. And I have a couple of photos over on one of the double page spread that I end up swapping out to get things that kind of go together. That 3rd page I'm pretty happy with, and you'll see it coming up here. I have 4 portrait photos across the bottom, and once I get them all on one page, then I can do a little more chronological arrangement. And then the 3 at the top, I can put them all the way at the top or down towards the bottom, or I can stagger them. At any rate, I'm pretty happy with this page, so I'm going to set it aside, and I'll come back to it later on. For the 2-page spread, though, I've got to organize my photos. And this takes me a bit of time figuring out what goes together and what's going to look good. The two that I didn't cut apart, I'm going to have to end up cutting apart because they're just not going to work in that vertical arrangement. I'm going to need to split them apart and put them across side by side. That's what's going to, I think, work the best with some of the other photos that I have. There's two weather-related photos. There was a big story around here in July, and they really need to go together. They could be on the same page, but I'd rather have them, I think, even if they're split on different pages, to be both at the top or both at the bottom. And now I've got all the photos kind of arranged, but I have a lot of white space in the middle and everything crowded at the top or the bottom, and I'm not real happy with that. So I start moving things up and down. I'll be filling in the extra spaces with pattern paper. I'm just trying to figure out how to make this work. And I'm starting to pull my papers here from the Pebbles Lakeside collection. A lot of these are florals, and they go with what's going on as well as the colors. Love that chevron there that has all my colors in it. I already had the check out. Some more florals. A few tone-on-tone kinds of things that will help sort of bring this layout together without being too busy. And I have 3 more papers there from Little Yellow Bicycle that I might use. Now I've cut the pieces of paper and put a few of them in place, and I like this so far, but it's leaving me with these 2 big blank spots. And I'm trying to decide what paper, and I had to go to my 12 by 12s to find large enough paper. I've got this red, and I have a purplish color that went with that was like that Little Yellow Bicycle paper, except in the 12 by 12, and I really like that over on the left, but I'm trying to decide whether I want it on the right or I want to use the reddish paper. I think I'm going to like the purplish, so I'll have 2 things that are the same that kind of bring some continuity to the page. Now I'm starting to round corners, and this, to me, made the most difference in the whole thing. Before I rounded the corners, it was just like everything was sort of jammed together. But once I started rounding the corners of all the pieces, either a 1/4 inch or I used 1/2 inch on some of those large pieces, it just looked so much better. And a little bit of the yellow then peeks through. So I've glued things down. I've got my title. I haven't put it all out there, but I know I have plenty of room for it. And I'm going to be using a photo theme, so I have some frames from Maya Road, and I've used these before with this paper out of the Pebbles collection, and there's a little piece there that has a camera on it, so it will fit in my frame, and I have a couple of those stickers from Simple Stories that will also fit in the frame, or one of them from there. And the largest frame, I have an October Afternoon sticker sheet that's garden themed, and that's a radish, and we didn't buy radishes, but it's close enough. It's red and green, and it matches, so it's a vegetable, so it kind of goes with what I'm doing here. And I think 3 of those will also add some continuity to things. I've got some journaling there. I'm missing a few things. I'm going to have to go back and add a little bit more to my journaling. Done my frames, filled some stuff in. And again, I'm concerned about continuity, so I went to washi tape, but something that I could add in several of the little sections using the same tapes and maybe some of those glazed dots as well to add a little bit of continuity to the whole thing. So I've got to glue some of these bits of journaling down, and then I'm going to add some washi tape below that. Couple of different pieces, and then I can add some glazed brads on there, or I should say enamel dots. They're not glazed brads, they're enamel dots. I didn't like that one piece of washi tape. What I end up doing with that later on is trimming it down, making it narrower, and then it fits better, because I'm trying to keep everything within the little blocks, just like I was doing it within page protectors. And the washi tape is helping to anchor the items that are in the different sections. There's couple places I need to add some more journaling, things I've forgotten. And there was a sticker that looked a little lonely, so I put some washi tape underneath it. It says this is important, and it points over to the right so that you can find the journaling that goes with the photo below.
Finished up the pages. Let's take a close-up look using some washi tape to sort of bring everything together across the two pages. There's my title block, and then over on this side more journaling and some more of those wood photo frames. And then this was my third page with the other photos that I had. And I used the same papers except for a different paper here for the title strip, since I didn't really have any of that purplish color in these photos. And I used the same lettering and some of the same embellishments going across. I like this page a lot better, and I don't know if it's because I have 3 landscape photos and then all the portrait photos together instead of trying to mix them up, or I think the real reason is because instead of trying to keep the embellishments confined into their little sections, I have them spread across the page. So to me that unites the page a little bit more, and it keeps it more like a regular scrapbook page. So I can see myself using this layout with the 7 photos again to do a weekly spread. And there is one thing that's missing here. I need a little bit more journaling up here that go with these 2 photos. I just forgot to do that. So I'll add that in. But anyway, those are my pages where I've given the Project Life system a little bit of a try on regular 12 by 12 papers. You know, the approach is different here than if you had a kit and you had the pockets. But it gave me a chance to see whether it was something that worked out for me. As I say, I like this page a little bit better. All in all, I like traditional scrapbooking, but that's one of the wonderful things about scrapbooking is there's so many different ways to do it. And whether you're using Project Life, or you're doing mini albums, or doing regular scrapbook pages, or journaling, or art journaling, whatever you're doing to capture your memories and your photos, that's what's important, whatever works for you. I think Project Life has been great to bring a lot of people into scrapbooking that weren't here before, or people back to the hobby that used to scrapbook and were looking for a faster way to do it. So it's whatever you kind of like to do. And for me, I like a little bit more of a traditional page. So this was a nice try. It's something that I might do again sometime, but I think for the most part I'll probably be doing the more traditional pages. So again, it's whatever you like and what works for your style. So thanks for joining me.